2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Warm and cool, comfort and confidence. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
Experience flexibility like never before with Ace Rent-to-Own. Whether you're decorating a new home or upgrading your electronics, they provide easy payment plan options that suit your budget. No credit checks, no hefty interest rates, just straightforward renting solutions designed with you in mind. Find great options to make a beautifully furnished space or surround yourself with the latest gadgets. With Ace Rent-to-Own, it's all within your grasp. Visit acerentoown.com and bring home more than just a product. Bring home a lifestyle.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
I'm Christy. I used to smoke cigarettes. I had smoker's cough and severe shortness of breath, and I knew I had to quit. Then I tried e-cigarettes, but I just ended up using both. I really didn't start to get better until I quit smoking completely. My tip to you is just cutting down on the number of cigarettes you smoke isn't enough.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
From the playing fields to the sidelines, from Florida to California, from the Big 12 to the Big 10, welcome to the wide world of Raff. Live from the 93.7 The Ticket studios in the heart of Lincoln, America, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Chris Raff.
All right, everybody, we are back again. This is the wide world of Raff on 93.7 The Ticket. It is 9 o'clock on Wednesday night. You know what 9 o'clock on Wednesday night means. NFL analysis and picks from the great Harrison and the master of greatness of picking NFL games, Raff, Chris Raff.
You know, it's a good time to say that, Raff, because we were dominant last week.
We were?
Absolutely dominant. We killed it. The only thing that killed me was taking your damn Broncos. I should have never trusted them to beat the Lions.
It's all your fault.
I knew my Browns. Unfortunately, the Browns beat the Bears. I knew my Bears always had the opportunity. I picked with my heart, but that makes sense if they didn't lose. But
they almost won.
Almost 17-20. It was a close one.
That Hail Mary, if Mooney, it was in his hands.
He had it literally in his. I mean, I'm not going to be mad at him because he's got to be so upset with himself. It would have been an incredible highlight.
It was right there in his hands for the taking.
But Raff, over week 15, I got the results right here.
I'm ready.
Winner was me.
I knew it.
13-3.
13-3?
Raff not far behind. 10-6.
Ooh, that was a little rough, but man, yeah. I knew I wasn't doing quite that well. I was afraid I might not be over 500, but I mean, I'm over 500. I mean, that works. I'm good with that.
I should maybe,
if you want
gone out to the interstate, get across the border, put in some parlays real quick, because it would have been a nice week for me if I didn't trust.
But you didn't have to go across the border.
Oh, that's true.
Just go to Warhorse.
Yeah. Man, I always forget about Warhorse. Shout out to Warhorse. They're sponsors of the ticket.
Yeah.
It's definitely a nice thing to have, so you don't have to go, like I said, drive on the interstate, stop on the side of the road. I've just kind of been trained to doing that in the past.
Not supposed to do that. No, just joking. Yeah, so I mean, I'm happy with it. 10-6. It was a rough week for my Broncos. The Lions, one-eyed raised Lions, and Nick's Lions took us out to the woodshed, and
they finally woke up, is what it looks like.
Yeah, they did. The Broncos, I was telling everybody, I think the Broncos just felt like the game was on Sunday.
That's what it looked like.
And I was just like, oh no, they did not show up. And then it was funny because I just did not have any good feelings throughout that game. Even if they would have scored that touchdown to 28-17, I still was like, the Lions are just playing a better game right now, but it happens. But now it stinks because the Broncos have an uphill battle to make the playoffs. Even if they go before, if they would have won out, they would have been in, I think, no questions asked. But now, unfortunately, they're going to need a lot of help from a lot of other teams. And I don't know even if they go 3-0. They've got actually they got the Patriots, the Chargers, and the Raiders left, which are 3 very winnable games, but it just might not be enough. And it's all the Broncos' fault because they had their opportunities early in the season, the early games they gave up.
Yeah.
So,
Kind of the same road we've been on. The Bears and the Broncos started the season ugly. They gave us a little bit of
glimmer of hope
late down the stretch that they might be in the hunt. They can't afford any more losses. Bears really did. It was close.
So do the Bears, are they sticking with Justin Fields, or do you want a quarterback still in the draft?
If I'm the Bears, I'm sticking with Justin Fields.
Sticking with Justin Fields.
Yeah, I don't see I think you'd be wasting talent.
Yep.
I think you get a lot more if you look elsewhere. Because if you trade him, obviously Caleb Williams is probably the guy you pick up.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much of an upgrade that's going to be. He might look just as good as what Justin Fields has looked at his peak in year 1, if that even.
Would you go Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Yes. Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. I think you get even more help. And then, of course, I'm probably trying to find another blue chip lineman. He got pressured 70% of the time in that Browns game, which you do have to hats off to the Browns. I mean, one of the best defenses in the league.
They're intense.
But 70% of the time pressured on your dropbacks is insane. So probably grab a blue chip lineman, continue to fill out your defense, and save the pick.
Yep.
I don't think you'd want to waste it on another quarterback. Justin Fields he's been looking good for me.
Good. All right. Well, we will begin our picking. Our first game of the week is on Thursday, December 21st. Tomorrow night at 7:15 on Amazon Prime. We've got the New Orleans Saints versus the LA Rams at SoFi in Los Angeles. Saints and Rams. Who do you got, Harrison? Saints and Rams.
Give me the Saints. They seem a little more inspired. They took care of business last week. With the Rams, it just feels like an up and down season for him. Cooper Kupp finally getting a little bit of his momentum back, but he's been a guy that
inconsistent.
Inconsistent. It was weird because as soon as he came back from his injury, it's like, oh, he's back immediately. And then he has multiple weeks in a row where the production just hasn't been the same. In the Rams offense, you could argue, has kind of been just the same story all year. Up and down when it's just offensively, you go from a Packers game where you scored 3 points to where you're paying one of the best defenses of the league in the Browns and you scored 36. So very up and down. I'm just going to assume that they're down for this game as the Saints continue to keep picking up momentum.
All right, Saints it is. All right, my selection for this game, I'm going to go with the LA Rams. And the reason why I'm picking the Rams is I am not sure why I'm picking the Rams. I hold I hold out for Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp to have that explosive game. And I do remember last year the Rams took the Broncos down close to Christmas. I remember I was in Houston watching that game. So I'm thinking they're going to have Christmas magic round 2 this year. And the Rams at SoFi are going to win, and they're going to win big.
It's very possible. I mean, we thought they got enough weapons on offense where if they get things clicking, they can be a force. But again, I'm just not buying into the inconsistency with that team, especially, I don't know if you heard Stafford, he's just the game manager.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like I expected more out of the Rams this year, especially when Puka stepped up the way he did. I was like, ooh, they're going to have, they got some threats.
And like, man, they still got Eckler. They got touchdown rusher from last season.
Kyron Williams. He's been playing good. So I'm going with the Rams.
All right.
We'll move on. We've got some Saturday games again on December 23rd.
Oh, that's awesome.
At 3:30 p.m. on NBC. We've got the Cincinnati Jake Browning Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Mason Rudolph Steelers. Steelers at Accentura Field in Pittsburgh. I believe it's Accentura. It's not Three Rivers. It's not Heinz Field. It's Accentura or something like that. So Steelers.
Steelers playing at home at Heinz Field. I'm going to go with the Steelers.
I'm
going with that defense. I think the Bengals, same story as the Rams. Like, they've looked better, but for the most part, inconsistent up and down journey. You're going to play cold environment, Saturday games always kind of got a weird feel to them anyways. Give me the Steelers. Give me that defense. I feel like that team just gets more and more confident with that defense around them. I like the Steelers.
All right. Okay. So I am sitting here. I'm kind of picking with my heart a little bit, but there's really nothing here that really can help the Broncos much because they're tied with the Steelers and Bengals are a game ahead. So whoever wins, it really does not help the Broncos one way or the other. The Bengals, I believe Jamar Chase is going to be out for that game because he's injured.
Mm-hmm.
And the Steelers have, oh man, their offense is putrid. But it's really
bad.
And I'm not sure how the locker room's really doing right now because they kind of had Blockgate going on with George Pickens. And George Pickens said that he got out of the way because he didn't want to get injured on Jalen Warren's run to the end zone. And then Jalen Warren came out today and said if it would have been George Pickens, he would have blocked for him. So when you start having players going back and forth in the media about blocking, I am going to select, don't hate me for this, AD, I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals and Jake Browning. I know they don't have Chase, but Browning has been somewhat hot, and he's got that Browning magic. So I'm going to go with the Bengals over the Steelers.
Yeah, you got a good point there with the Steelers. I'm not going to change my pick, but you almost convinced me there. Just because they're on a tough losing skid right now, and the offense has been putrid.
Yeah.
And that anytime you got a great defense and a really, really bad offense, feels like chemistry problems are right around the corner. It might already be there for the Steelers, but I'm going to stick with them. Hopefully it's a feel right game for them. Hopefully that's a team that could take advantage of a backup. So give me the Steelers still.
And, with the Bengals too, I will say this. The last couple of years, everybody's, put all the credit, on Joe Burrow, which I think deservingly.
Yeah.
But if the Bengals get another win, I've got to think that Zach Taylor starts to be looked at as maybe coach of the year because he's doing this without his star quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Chase has been injured. Injured. He had that little back injury that kind of set him back a little bit. And he's putting the pieces together. I think he's really showing, the NFL that it's more than just a Joe Burrow team. So if the Bengals get that win, I'd start to look really seriously at Zach Taylor as being coach of the year candidate.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, they got that run game going as soon as they needed it.
Yeah.
And you look at the Bills, and that's the team that's been searching for the run. They finally just getting it, but it took them way too long.
And we've been saying, give the ball to James Cook.
Yeah.
Give the ball to James Cook.
Look what happened.
And they give the ball to James Cook, and it's amazing how that happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of those Buffalo Bills, we have got the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, James Cook, Stephon Diggs going up against, oh Lord, the Los Angeles Chargers at 7 p.m. on Peacock on the 23rd on Saturday. Bills, Chargers.
Bills look pissed. They look like they're on a revenge tour right now. I shouldn't say quote unquote revenge tour, but they've been taking care of business in a big way. And we already just hinted at it. They figured out the run game. So now that's not a team in the red zone. You don't have to hold your breath as much. It's not all on Josh Allen to throw a dot into the end zone or get close enough for field goal range. Because before, without that run game, that's really what it looked like you were banking on. It just wasn't creative on the run game. Everyone knew Josh Allen was going to drop back and throw. So that gives me a lot of hope that this is going to be a team that's way more consistent in the red zone to end the season. And I think they take advantage of a Chargers team.
Yep. I'm going to say what Chris Berman would say. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, because you look after that Denver Bronco game, the Bills were like out of playoff contention. They were like, if they can get a wild card, they might not even make the playoffs. Well, now, if you look at this, the Bills have a chance to win the division.
It's incredible.
If you look at the Bills schedule and you look at the Dolphins schedule, there's a possibility that last game, I believe it's in Miami, will be the Bills versus Dolphins for the division title. Can you imagine Jake Sorensen? I mean, he's pretty much went through the whole year thinking he's had this division on lock. And now there's a possibility the last game of the year will be for the division.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be electric to watch. And then, Mike, the Dolphins, a little bit of being not a pretty part in the season for them.
Tyreek Hill's probably going to be out again.
Yeah. And, they're heading at this point in the season where they need to be clicking on all cylinders, and it's kind of slipping away from them right now. So
they kind of remind me of the Bills of last year when the Bills were rolling, and then all of a sudden they just sort of lost their momentum. And then the Chargers, they fired their coach. I mean, after just a horrible loss to the Steelers, 63-20, or the Raiders, 63-21.
He needed that game. It's crazy how bad he needed that game to keep his job and how it went. That was the conversation heading into
I think he was going to lose it one way or the other. I think if you come next year, Bill Belichick will be the coach the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm throwing it out there right now. But
Jim Harbaugh.
Harbaugh, he's going to resign. He'll resign with Michigan.
Did you see you got another NOA?
Oh,
Michigan.
Oh,
it's back to some burgers, some meals. That it came up because through the first investigation.
Oh boy,
of
more
course
burgers.
He charged it through his credit card during the COVID dead period. So
the burger
resurfacing again.
The Hamburglar, the Harburglar.
Wouldn't be a big deal. It's the COVID.
Ooh,
dead
I like
period.
it. The Harburglar.
Oh, I do like that. That is good.
Now you got all these millions of dollars that these kids are getting, and they're worried about a couple cheeseburgers.
Mm-hmm.
The Harburglar does it again. Okay, so so the Chargers, Easton Stick at quarterback. Herbert's out for the season. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills too. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, and I apologize to Bills Mafia. I was one of those people that was putting dirt on the Buffalo Bills' grave. I just thought that it was over with. I thought they had their run, but the Bills are back. So
just a new OC. That's all they needed.
Yep. Taking the Bills. Bills. Joe Brady, I believe, is that offense coordinator that replaced Ken Dorsey. So, all right, Bills. All right, we'll move on now to Sunday, Christmas Eve, December 24th at 12 o'clock on CBS. We have got the Cleveland Browns versus the Houston Texans. Browns versus Texans.
I really want to pick CJ Stroud, but with the Browns. Do you ever pick first, Raff? I'd love to hear your thoughts first.
I know I'm picking. You want me to pick first?
Yeah, let's hear it.
See, I'm gonna make your pick so easy. I am picking the Cleveland Browns and Joe Flacco. Defense is playing great. Flacco struggled a little bit last week, but put it together in the fourth quarter, had like 220 yards passing in the fourth quarter, got the job done. The reason why I will not pick the Houston Texans this week is I think CJ Stroud is actually going to miss a second straight game due to concussion symptoms.
Is he still on track to miss the second game? There was talks about him possibly coming back.
He's still having issues with light.
Yeah, good thing you picked first.
And now they're looking back on looking back at it now. They're thinking that he possibly had that concussion against the Broncos, which I remember the play. He kind of got up and he was kind of woozy.
Yeah, that's right.
And he came back in, and I was like, "Whoa, that looked like that was a concussion." So now they're kind of linking it back to maybe he had that concussion, and now he's the light. I guess he's not reacting well to light. So I think he's going to probably sit out this game again. So I'm going with Joe Flacco and the Miracle Browns.
Yeah.
Or the Cardiac Browns.
Give me the Browns then. That's the Texans team. Yeah, they still got some pieces, but without your star quarterback who's been killing it in his rookie season, that is a tough defense to be going up against. Yep. So yeah, that did make my decision way easier.
Cardiac Browns, the Browns, Browns, the dog pound. Oh. All right, we'll move on to our next game. We've got on Christmas Eve at noon on CBS, we've got the Washington Commanders versus the New York Jets. Commanders, Jets, 12 o'clock. Commanders, looks like Ron Rivera's tenure there will end at the end of the season. Not sure who they'll go with quarterback there. They put Jacoby Brissett in at the end of the game, and he had more passing yards in 2 possessions than what Sam Howell had the entire game. And now you go with the Jets, who also are kind of in the same situation. Zach Wilson, ineffective again. And then you have got Trevor Siemian that's sitting in the background. There'll be no Aaron Rodgers. This was supposed to be Aaron Rodgers' comeback game.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers has decided to call it good for the year, which we knew this was probably going to happen. So you got the Commanders and the Jets.
This has got to be one of the worst stinkers, I think, of the weekend.
Yeah, thankfully it's a noon game. Get it out of the way.
I'm going to go with the Commanders. Give me the 4-win Commanders over the Jets. The Jets couldn't score anything last week. They've consistently just been pretty low offensively. It's been the story for them all year. I think the Commanders can hold them down enough to go ahead and get a win there. So give me the Commanders. We'll see what happens at the quarterback position. But nonetheless, I think the Jets are pretty much down and out for the count, especially with the Rodgers news. Yep. I don't know what we keep talking about the locker room at this point in the season. I'd be curious to know what it looks like for them.
Yep. All right. I am going to select the New York Jets. Oh. It's going to be the Miracle on 34th Street. Zach Wilson's going to get the start. He's going to play great. And it's going to be a Merry Christmas in New York City. even though the game's at the Meadowlands. I'm going with the New York Jets. The Jets over the Commanders. I feel like the Commanders, I would probably pick the Commanders, but it just feels like they know that, their coach is pretty much finished. And I think they probably already have checked into their rooms in Cancun. So I'm going to go with the Jets, even though they're checking into Cancun also. But I think Zach Wilson, Miracle on 34th Street, will call this game. Jets, Jets, Jets.
Yeah, that is going to be a tough game. Like you said, good thing that's a 12 o'clock game.
Yeah, definitely will not be a game that I'll be watching. That's for sure.
You got a much better option at 12 o'clock, probably. Well, maybe the Vikings. Yeah, we'll wait to that. We got time for one more.
One more. All right, before we go to break. Oh, on CBS at noon, we have got the Seattle Seahawks in the 12s going up against the Tennessee Titans at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. We got Seahawks, Titans.
Give me the Seahawks. The Seahawks still give me some hope. I like Pete Carroll, the New York Giants, kind of up and down. It just got to live through Derrick Henry and Will Levis. Could be one of those things where the more comfortable Will Levis gets, the scarier they're going to be. But go ahead, give me the Seattle Seahawks.
All right. I'm going with the Seahawks. However, it's going to be interesting to see how the Seahawks handle their quarterbacking situation. You had the miracle comeback of Drew Lock with 2 long completions to get the victory on Monday night. But you got Geno Smith, who they weren't sure. They thought in warmups he might play. Drew Lock came into the stadium not really knowing if he was going to start or not. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks. They're at 7-7. It seems like they're just pesky enough to stay in the playoff race. Titans really not playing for anything. And you got to wonder with Vrabel, if Vrabel's on the hot seat, if he'll be there next year, or if the Titans will move on from Vrabel. I think they'd be crazy to get rid of him. I think the Titans hamstrung him so bad a couple years back, getting rid of A.J. Brown. And I just think they're just horrible what that organization did to him. But I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks also. I think that either Geno Smith or Drew Lock magic. Watch out.
Yeah. Did you see Drew Lock after the game try to find the quarterback?
Yeah.
Quarterback took off on him.
Well, Jalen was sick. He was sick. He had an excuse. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He had the flu. He was feeling bad. So, but he did do the post-game press conference. So I thought that was kind of weird. That's
what I was trying to figure out, because that's what I heard, but then he was in the press game conference. So I'll be honest, I wasn't really buying it.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Right. Jalen's a good dude. So
that's a good point.
Or from what I've heard from my Alabamians, Jalen's a pretty good dude. So I'm going to say that he was sick and just wanted to get out of that weather. And the press conference was indoors. So yeah, I'm going with the Seahawks also. So
if they win that game, they better, I swear, I'm right with you. They better not fire Vrabel.
Yeah,
he's such a great head coach. And you're totally right. They have not helped him.
There'll be a team waiting to pick him up. I'm sure.
I'd take him on the Bears immediately.
You know who that team might be?
Where's some openings? Let's think here.
Where's a possible opening?
Yeah, it could be the Chargers. Chargers is always the one you keep hearing about. Who am I missing on my list here? I mean, Bears, Chargers, those are going to be openings. Commanders, that's an opening right there. Likely opening.
I'm throwing this out here right now. The New England Patriots.
See, I just cannot believe the Patriots would fire Bill Belichick.
I think it's going to happen.
They'd just be crazy too.
I think it's going to happen.
I think New England's going to be rough unless they can really nail that next head coach.
But I would think that Mike Vrabel would be the next coach of the Patriots if they decide to release Bill Belichick from his contract. So we shall see. It'll be an interesting offseason. There's going to be, probably 5, 6, 7, 8 coaches. So it'll be a lot of movement going on. Then you also got to look at Carolina. They haven't named a coach yet.
Yeah.
But Carolina would be stupid. If they don't give that job to Jim Caldwell, then that's their own fault. So they'll have to deal with the circumstances.
Yeah. They need to, because I think, again, there's out of all the teams out there, these coaches are going to have a few places to interview and stop at. Panthers are probably not going to be on the top of the list for
they have Jim Caldwell in-house, hire him.
Yes, I'm with you.
And make it happen. So, all right. Well, we'll send it to break. This is the Wide World of Raff on 93.7 The Ticket.
We'll be right back to the Wide World of Raff.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
If you want to raise your family with great schools, great amenities, we just paved streets for our new subdivision called Prairie View, which is just on the outskirts of Seward and is really an amazing development.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, we have some very exciting things in Seward. If you want to raise your family with great schools, great amenities, we've spent a lot of time on our floor plans, making them very efficient. We have flat lots, walkout lots, daylight lots, you name it for Seward. So if you work in Lincoln and you'd like to commute, it's an easy 20-minute drive. How can you go wrong there? It's just a great American city to live in.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln. January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Are you looking for some holiday fun? This year, start a new tradition. Make the Nebraska Christmas Lights Show experience an annual event for your family and a cherished memory to look forward to every year. From Black Friday to January 3rd, buckle up and tune into the rhythm of the lights and let the magic of Christmas take over with the show. Now located at Star City Shores, just off of 27th and Highway 2. Buy your tickets for just $20 or $25 per car today at NebraskaChristmasLightShow.com.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apple, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
I'm Christy. I used to smoke cigarettes. I had smoker's cough and severe shortness of breath, and I knew I had to quit. Then I tried e-cigarettes, but I just ended up using both. I really didn't start to get better until I quit smoking completely. My tip to you is just cutting down on the number of cigarettes you smoke isn't enough.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome back to the wide world of Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we are back again. This is the wide world of Raff on 93.7 The Ticket. It's Wednesday night. We're celebrating the Nebraska Cornhuskers and their recruiting class today.
It's time.
Future NFL quarterback Dylan Raiola.
Did you hear Matt Rule? All possible future NFL players. He only gets the guys he thinks got a legitimate shot for the NFL.
Stands for not for long.
I love it. I love the confidence Matt Rule has. I'll say
I'm throwing it out here right now. Dylan Raiola will be Nebraska's first ever first-round quarterback draft pick.
But can I ask you this real quick, just while we have time? What do you make of everyone already really skeptical, freaking out about him transferring out year one, year two?
I've talked about this trend about the people that were upset about still wanting him because of him switching high schools and his selections for college. You have a chance to get a 5-star quarterback. You get him, and then you enjoy every second of it, and then you let the story play out, because everybody is going to spend so much time worrying that they're not going to live in the moment and enjoy it.
It's a good point.
I was like, enjoy it.
Yeah,
you got a 5-star quarterback. Who cares? So what? He committed to Ohio State. He committed to Georgia. But where did he end up at the end of the day? I sat back the entire time and I never got too wound up about it. For some reason, I just had this weird feeling that the longer it played out, there was a good chance Nebraska would get him, and it all worked out. And now you enjoy it. If you have Dylan Raiola for a year, you enjoy it. My thought process is this: I think he's going to be very successful, and he's going to be one of those guys that's going to put Nebraska back on the map.
He's got a good group of guys around him to do it with.
So I'm going positive. I'm not going to be negative about it. I'm being all positive. Be positive, Husker fans.
I like that approach. And I will say this: the one thing that does give me hope is it felt like he was looking at programs that legitimately, okay, these are programs that can get me to the NFL. And then I think the reason why Nebraska just hung around in there is because he maybe on the inside, that's where he did feel like, man, I really do want to go there, but I'm scared that it might not get me to the caliber I need to get to the NFL. Whatever the conversations with Matt Rule, it sounds like he's bought in that he does want to be that guy at Nebraska, be the guy to have the statue built outside there for you. I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but it is one of those things where it felt like he chose Nebraska because that's really where he wanted to go instead of just a program that could get him to the NFL.
And, and I talked about it a little bit on the drive also. He played 3 high schools.
Mm-hmm.
Got 3 different systems, 3 different sets of teammates, 3 different sets of receivers. And what was the one thing about all 3 of them? He was highly successful at all 3.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point.
And that's why I really think that he can step in and he has an opportunity to be the starter next year, game 1. And it would not surprise me if he is the starter.
Well, Chuba Purdy's out too now.
His football knowledge and football IQ is above and beyond. And we've already seen what kind of talents he has throwing the ball. When it comes to arm talent, I think I know he has the most arm talent of any Nebraska quarterback that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's fair. Just watching the highlights of him on the run, even as he's getting tackled, throwing it 20 yards across the field as there's a defender wrapped up around his knee, so he doesn't even have his legs under him, and he's heaving that ball across his body, across the field. And anyone out there, shout out to some of the Georgia Bulldog YouTube accounts with some great highlight reels when he was originally committed there.
Yeah.
But
and what do we always hear a lot of the years about players when they get here? Well, they have the talent to play, but they don't know the playbook. They have the talent, but they don't play. But I'll tell you what, Dylan Raiola, he is a football sponge, IQ, high IQ. It won't be a question of whether he knows the playbook. It's just going to be a question of when.
Mm-hmm. And then
boom,
he's got a veteran offensive line at this point
to
kind of help him carry along. that's the only thing with Chuba Purdy that thinks, but I think you're right. He's definitely going to have that IQ. And as far as the pressure goes, he's had that pressure since, he was knee high.
Yeah.
His dad's Dominic.
That's what I continue to tell people too. People are like, well, he's going to be in a fishbowl. Well, if he went to Georgia or Ohio State, he was going to be in the same fishbowl. So he's prepared his entire life for this. And I'm excited to see what happens, but I just know that it's going to be an exciting time. I mean, that spring game, if he suits up for the spring game, I mean, it's going 92,000 or 88,000, whatever, Nebraska.
Well, you got 2 elite 11 quarterbacks to go watch.
Yeah.
Kalen's going to be out there too, a Nebraska kid. And again, I can't stress this enough. We have 2 elite 11 quarterbacks from the 24 class.
Yeah.
Like that's huge.
That's
so
wild.
Iron sharpens iron too. I love having Kalen in there. He's going to be hungry.
Nebraska is QBU.
It is. Hey, looking like it these days.
Maybe we'll have 2 first-round draft picks. All right. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. We'll move back into the NFL. We have got at 12 o'clock on Fox, we've got the Gardner Minshew Indianapolis Colts versus the Tyler Heineke Atlanta Falcons at the Mercedes Dome. I was going to say the Georgia Dome, but the Georgia Dome was what Dion built, and they tore that down a few years back. So we've got the Colts and Falcons.
I'll say this: give me Minshew mania.
Minshew mania.
Hopped on the bandwagon last week, and it was a fun ride.
He took care of you.
Did not disappoint. Played very well against a good defense, and he's been playing great ball. So give me the Colts. Yep. And I don't know how much the Falcons have just kind of been a disappointing. I shouldn't say disappointing. That the bar was never that high really to head into the season. So give me the Colts. I think they got things clicking right now.
Yep.
Minshew mania has been fun. Team looks inspired. I like the Colts.
Yep. The Falcons, they had the game against Carolina, and then they decided to let Desmond Ridder throw into the end zone, interception, game over. I jumped off the Minshew train last week. I always ride the Minshew. I always ride it. And for some crazy reason last week, I jumped off the Minshew mania train.
Yeah.
But this week, I jumped back on the Minshew mania train. Gardner Minshew taking the Colts to the playoffs. Indianapolis Colts. Oh, yeah. Mr. Irsay is going to be happy. He's going to be giving away free tickets. I would tell you what, for an owner, he's very on Twitter. He's always giving away free tickets with trivia questions and stuff like that. So I'm going with the Colts. Indianapolis Colts over the Falcons.
I like it.
Minshew over Heineke. Minshew over Heineke.
I do like Taylor Heineke too. He's fun to watch. He's the guy that he probably has like 2 plays a game where you're like, I don't even know how the hell you got that ball there, but somehow you completed a play when you weren't even looking at the receiver.
Yep.
He's another fun one of those backups to watch that's just as fun to watch in my opinion as Flacco.
And I'll probably start Kyle Pitts at tight end again this week in hopes that he shows life in the first quarter and then you don't hear from him the rest of the game. But we'll go with the Colts. Colts over Falcons, both of us. All right, we'll move on to our next game. It is at noon on the 24th. We have got the Green Bay Packers versus the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. 6-8 Packers had a chance to really get into playoff contention. They fell apart going against the Panthers, who got the big victory over the Falcons last week for their second victory. Packers, Falcons, Love versus Young. Young Love. Ooh, I did it again.
I picked the Panthers last week. I said that was going to be the only time I picked them, but I forgot they play the Packers. Give me the Panthers. Let's get it done. I think the Panthers, they're not really playing for anything. They're just playing for pride at this point. But maybe last week's win gave them a little bit of confidence that they can actually go out, close some games with the Packers. They went from a really big high to a little bit back down to earth now.
Yep.
So I think with the Packers, they might come in sleepwalking a little bit with like we saw with Nebraska basketball in the first half of today's game. Give me the Panthers at home, catching the Packers, sleepwalking in on a Christmas Eve when they're not focused on the game and they're focused about Christmas the next day.
All right. I am going to select the Green Bay Packers. And the reason why I'm going to select the Green Bay Packers, I think they're still not really sure about Jordan Love. And I think these last 3 games are really going to determine what they decide to do with Jordan Love, because the Packers, if they lose these next 3 games, or would be in position to grab a quarterback. I think Jordan Love knows this and he's playing for his job. And I think he's going to rise to the occasion. And I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers over the Carolina Panthers.
It's a tough job for Love. I think the Packers are going to have that problem for a while until they get some more weapons on that team. Any quarterback you throw in there, that's a lot to kind of, especially, with Jordan Love. he's been up and down this season, but it's so hard for me to grade him because I just feel like he hasn't had a whole lot of help around him.
Well, here's the way I look at it like this. The Packers, they've been pretty steadfast that Jordan Love is their future quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you end the season and say you end up 6-11 and you're tempted, and sometimes when you have that temptation in an NFL draft and that quarterback starts falling and starts getting close.
It's a loaded quarterback class.
And the grass is always greener on the other side. You have that temptation. So I think by Jordan Love playing good these last 3 games, say they finish up, at 9-8, that's going to be a lower draft pick. Sorry. So they will, he can basically solidify himself as the quarterback by winning these games. So I'm going with the Packers. Go Pack, go.
Pressure gets to him. Packers fall apart. Abysmal into the season.
No. New quarterback next year. All right. We'll move on to our next game. This is at noon on the 24th, Christmas Eve. We got the Detroit Lions, America's team, going up against the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings, well, One-Eyed Ray has told me that I picked the Vikings to begin the year. And One-Eyed Ray, I can admit it when I'm wrong. I was wrong, and I apologize. The Vikings, I believe, they're going with Nick Mullins at quarterback this week.
Mullins.
They have demoted Josh Dobbs now to the 3rd string emergency quarterback.
They handled him horribly. I will say that.
I don't know what happened there. He went from the astronaut or the astral passer to
people shade off their eyebrows. They were so excited.
Oh, they were there. And now he was the quarterback of the future. And now he's the emergency quarterback. And now you've got to think Kirk Cousins resigns next year with the Vikings. I did not think that this would happen, but I really think now Kirk Cousins, I think they've realized what they have. And I think they're going to reward him, even coming off the Achilles tendon.
Yeah, because the season started off rough for him, but they were back to the Vikings right before he got hurt.
Yep.
So I think you're definitely right. I think they'd be kind of a fool not to try to get him back.
I think if he rehabs and he gets it back up to where he can play and be successful, Vikings re-sign him. So we got the Lions and Vikings.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions. I don't think the Vikings right now just don't have enough offense to get going at all. I think they missed that run game from last season. The changing room of quarterbacks is not conducive to efficient, consistent offense for any team. Give me the Lions. They kind of fell asleep there for a little bit over some Thanksgiving break, and then it rolled over. Bears would obviously they went on them as well, but it looks like they kind of snapped out of it right on time as well as the season's wrapping up.
I'm going to go with the Lions also. I think, once again, the Broncos will be that springboard team. They throttled the Broncos on Saturday night. So I think the Lions keep on rolling here. And I think the Lions might be that sneaky team, that plays. The talk has been the Eagles 49ers, that 1 and 2, and the Lions have a possibility here where they might be able to slip into that number 2 and, things fall their way. Maybe they end up getting that first round bye with the number 1 seed. You never know, but I'm going to go with the Lions also. Lions over the Vikings. And we got time for one more.
We got 7 picks left.
We've got
spent time on Dylan Raiola. That's why.
7 picks left. Yep.
7 picks. Okay. Let's rapid fire 2.
Okay. So rapid fire 2.
7 through. Yeah.
Oh, this would be an easy rapid fire.
Yep,
well, not easy, but we got the Jaguars and Buccaneers 305 in Tampa Bay, the big sombrero. Or the new big sombrero.
I've had a lot of fun picking Baker Mania, and it's worked out well for me in all my picks. So I'm rolling with them just for the sake of Baker Mania. I think the Jaguars should have enough on offense, even with the quarterbacks. Like the run game's so strong with those guys that probably would be smart to go with the Jaguars here. But December 24th, Christmas Eve, we see these holiday games go. They zag all the time. Give me the Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield.
All right. I am going to select the Jaguars in this game. And the reason why I'm going to select the Jags is this week, after his 158.3 perfect game performance in Lambeau, they're talking now that both sides probably want to be mutual and they want to make Baker Mayfield the starting quarterback for the Buccaneers going on. And I think this is just one of those games where Baker's going to fall flat and they're going to have a bunch of questions again. So I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, that'd be incredible if Baker Mayfield has a meltdown.
Oh, it's going to happen. Trust me, it's going to happen.
He plays big in big moments, though, and I think a Christmas Eve game, I think that's right up his alley.
All right, we'll see. We'll see.
bring out the Buccaneers
sometimes when
flag in the middle of the
they
field.
start talking about the future, Baker says, nah, we'll wait. So we'll see what happens there. We'll move on to our next game. Ooh, we got the Cardinals versus the Bears. It's Soldier Field at 3:25 on Fox. Cardinals, Bears.
No question. Bears.
Yep,
they are. I think they're feeling good. Justin Fields been playing well. The run game's looking better. Should have had the win last week. It's incredible. Again, we talked about it. Had it right in his hands, laying down in the end zone. No one was even touching him. So yeah, give me the Bears. Pick with my heart.
All right.
And the Cardinals aren't that good.
In the words of Ditka, the Bears.
Oh, there we go, Raff.
I'm going with the Bears.
I love to hear that.
The Bears over the Cardinals at Soldier Field. Maybe we can get some nasty weather up there at Soldier Field. Maybe the fog will roll in from, is that Lake Michigan? Yeah, Lake Michigan. The fog will roll in.
Get some cold wind going.
Yeah.
Those Arizona Cardinals.
This is going to be one of those miserable games where you just want to sit at home and watch it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Bears also. Bears.
All right, Raff, get us out of here because we're going to have to be quick on this.
All right, we got to be quick. We're throwing to break. This is the Wide World of Raff, 93.7 The Ticket.
We'll be right back to the Wide World of Raff.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Agenda includes office meetings this morning, followed by a client lunch, then back to the office for another meeting, and ending the day with a presentation at a client's office. When you are on the go, you need an office phone that goes with you. At Hamilton, our business phone systems make it easy to sync your office phone features to your cell phone for quick and seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you need better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give John Henry's a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air. If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
So he can maybe run. So like speed option, those things. All you want to do.
Speed. I can't see him.
It's also. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Look what you did. Look what you did. Look at Bill.
Down.
Come on
Just
now.
calm down.
I don't say anything about semicolons or should there be a
Word
parentheses or
Too many commas over there.
Too many,
Yep. Come on.
run-on sentences. Don't talk about that. It's not my wheelhouse.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. You're listening to the wide world of Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is the Wide World of Raff on 93.7 The Ticket. We got 4 games left. I should have 5 games. 1, 2, 3. 5. Got to go fast.
Yeah, we'll go fast here. Real quick, I'm going to get these out of the way. Just one-eyed rave for you. Quick math facts for you. If the Lions win one more game or the Vikings lose one, your preseason prediction of the Vikings winning the North, your direct betrayal of me won't come true.
Wow.
So shout out to one-eyed
He
rave.
carries a grudge.
Yeah, you can't. Hey, you know what? I appreciate a true fanatic.
But he's a Raff roadie, though, for life. All right. Here we go. 3:25, Christmas Eve, Dallas Cowboys versus the Miami Dolphins in Miami.
This is tough because I don't really want to support an arrogant Jake Sorensen or an arrogant Pete Ferguson.
No lie.
I got 2 ticket talents that are going to be noisy about it.
2 guys who think this is the Super Bowl matchup.
I think the Dolphins are mad. I think Mike McDaniel's got that team motivated that that's not who they are. They're at home. I think this is a game where they're looking at the Cowboys. It's like, we need to beat these guys and we'll be back on track. No one's going to be looking at the Dolphins like a team, kind of skidding out of control here down the stretch. Give me the Miami Dolphins.
All right. I am going to select the Pete Ferguson Dallas Cowboys. And the reason why I'm selecting the Cowboys is they got absolutely manhandled, embarrassed, and crushed last week. And if this team's got any fire at all, they're going to bounce back and win this game. So I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott to bounce back after the embarrassment at Buffalo.
All right. Fair enough.
All right. Next game. You got an easy one here. Raiders Chiefs on Christmas, noon o'clock. Raiders Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yep. Me too.
Chiefs it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll move on to our next game. We've got at 3:30 on Fox on Christmas, the Giants versus Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, give me the Eagles.
And I just think they're going to be upset also. And Jalen Hurts is, a lot of people are trying to question Jalen Hurts a little bit, which I do not understand. But I'm going with Jalen Hurts. He's going to be healthy and ready to roll.
Yeah, I think, honestly, if they're playing a better opponent, I might pick against the Eagles again.
Yep.
They are in a little bit of a skid. I think that locker room's starting to panic. Now, I don't want to say panic, but you're hearing a lot of self-criticism, and sometimes it's too, it feels like it's too much.
They're 10-4 this year, but it just seems like they're different than last year. I felt like they were clicking more last year than they were this year, but I'm going with the Eagles over the Giants.
Yep. Okay. We agree there.
And we'll move on to our second to last game, the penultimate game. I like saying that. All right. We got December 25th at 7:15. We got the Ravens versus 49ers. Not at Candlestick, but instead Levi Stadium in San Francisco.
Give me the Baltimore Ravens taking down the San Francisco 49ers.
Wow.
I like this team. I think Lamar Jackson sees that as an
All right.
opportunity.
Chance for MVP, not.
Yep. Knocking on the door of an MVP. He's looking at Brock Purdy like, are you kidding me? How can anyone say this guy's better than me with the talent he has around him? I think this is a Michael Jordan game. I took that personally. Lamar Jackson shows out in a big way, has one of his best games, or not even one of the best games, against the tough 49ers team, just enough to get the win.
All right. I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. The reason why I'm going with the 49ers is I think they're the best team in football right now. And the Ravens, I understand Lamar Jackson, and he's on a mission, but the loss of Keith Mitchell, I think that's going to hurt them because he was really starting to come into his own as a running back. So I'm going with the 49ers and Christian McCaffrey. Run CMC.
All right. Fair enough.
All right. Our last game of the day on Christmas Eve at 7:15 on the NFL Network. The New England Patriots versus the Denver Broncos. Make the pick.
I signed off on the Broncos, Raff, and they immediately let me down. They looked horrible in that. And that wasn't even a close game.
I know.
The Patriots, they're looking at Bill Belichick feeling bad. We don't want you gone, coach. It's our fault. We're going to save you, coach. Don't worry about it. You're not moving on from here. We're going to get a win. We're going to figure out a way to score points. They've been a little better at that lately.
Just make your pick. I'm
Patriots.
All right. I select the team from Denver. The Denver Broncos will bounce back at Empower Field. Miles, the mascot, will have that stadium rocking. And watch out, Russell Wilson is coming for you. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, both over 100 yards receiving. Denver Broncos on Christmas Eve. Give me my Christmas present. Thank you, Santa. Thank you, Miles. Thank you, Broncos.
You're about to get Cole.
Oh, no.
It's going to be an ugly
loss.
loss.
No. It's a Bronco. It's going to be a Bronco Christmas.
Let's hope, Raff. Get us out of here.
All right, everyone. It's been another fun night of the Wide World of Raff. Have a great week, and we will talk to you next week. Have a good night, everyone.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate